Welcome to our video about septic systems and what realtors need to know about them. In this video, we'll cover everything from the basics of septic systems, how they can impact your real estate transactions. Due to the substantial costs of work on septic systems, it's crucial that our clients understand how systems work, the need to inspect them, and how they handle any issues that may arise during inspections. Let's start with a basic overview of the different types of systems. A septic system is an on-site wastewater treatment system that is used in areas where there is no access to a municipal sewer system. It can have many components, such as a holding tank, with or without aeration equipment, a secondary tank for pumping, a lagoon, a lateral field, low-pressure pipes, or drip irrigation. Generally, the poorer the soil, the more components a system will need and the more expensive it is to install. A septic system begins with a sewer line running underground from a home to a holding tank where solid waste is broken down. Some holding tanks will have an aeration system built in, which injects air into the wastewater to accelerate the breakdown process. As the waste breaks down, it turns into a liquid called effluent. The effluent then exits the tank in the rear and goes either directly to a disbursement system or a pumping tank from there. Whether or not you need a pumping tank and the type of disbursement system needed depends on the composition of the soil where the system will be installed. Modern systems are engineered specifically for the property's type of soil using a soil composition analysis. Formerly, this was done by a PERC or water absorption test. A system designed for optimal soil and elevation will discharge from the tank into a conventional lateral field using gravity. This is the least expensive system with a cost starting around $12,000 for a 3-bedroom home. A lagoon system can be installed for about the same $12,000 cost. However, most homeowners avoid these types of systems due to them being unsightly and having unpleasant smells. Less than optimal soils may need a low-pressure pipe system, which has a septic tank followed by a pumping tank that periodically pumps doses of effluent to a lateral field where it's absorbed into the ground. The worst soils in our area require a drip irrigation system, which has the aeration feature on the main tank and is followed by a secondary pumping tank that periodically pumps doses of effluent to a drip field. The drip field is installed around 8 inches below grade, much shallower than any of the other systems, to allow for evaporation of the effluent. This system will cost around $20,000 for a 3-bedroom home. Here is what you and your client need to know about inspecting a septic system. To list or sell a home with a septic system, you will need an extra contract document called a Residential Septic System Addendum. Ideally, the listing agent will have this form already completed by the seller and in the MLS supplements for you. This document is designed to assist in pointing out that the property uses a septic system, encourages independent inspections, and lays out the responsibilities for certain additional costs associated with inspecting a system. This form will typically have the buyer paying the additional expenses, but don't be afraid to push back and ask the seller to pay for the pumping of the tank, which is part of routine maintenance and should be done every few years. The first part of a septic inspection is a hydraulic test. This consists of introducing a large amount of water in a short period of time into the system to ensure it is properly absorbing effluent. The tank level rising while introducing the water will indicate a potential issue to the inspector. Something else the inspector will watch for is constantly discharging or pooling water, which could indicate straight discharge of the effluent and the need for the system to be brought up to current code at a substantial expense. The next part of the inspection will be a visual inspection of the tank or tanks. In order to see the tanks, they must first be pumped out, which can cost $500 to $1,200, depending on the size of the tank and whether or not the lid is accessible. This cost is in addition to the septic inspection. Pumping out the tank is a service performed by a third party that your clients may need help coordinating with the actual inspection. When you call to schedule this, you will need to know if the tank has an access riser or if the lid is buried. If the lid is buried, how deep is it and does it also need to be located? Those can also add to the costs of the inspection. Here is some advice on how to handle it when a septic system needs repairs. Your inspector will provide you with a form showing a pass or fail. In the event your system fails, it's crucial to write into any resolution that a permit be obtained from the county's health department for any work done to the system. This will ensure that the whole system is brought up to current code and make sure your buyers don't have a looming repair bill for bringing the system up to code when they sell the home at a later date. Thank you for watching our training video on septic systems.